All right, hello and welcome back to another vlog. We're in my car. I currently have the camera like chilling on the glove box, so the setup is a little strange, but it's definitely a lot better than filming in my old car. This is my new 2019 C300 Mercedes, and I say new because it's practically brand new. So this car had 3,000 miles on it when we bought it. We got a major deal on this car, and the mileage is not a typo or anything. The old owners were actually an older couple who were local to Pasadena, and they just didn't drive a lot, so they ended up selling it, and now she is mine. She's all mine, and I love her so much. I really wanted a coupe, and I just was not really able to find one that had everything I wanted with decent mileage that wasn't in an accident within the budget. So I was looking for a C300 AMG line coupe in black, preferably. The paint didn't matter, but I just wanted black because my old car was white and my mom's car is black, and I just feel like it's really like sexy and chic. And we both kind of like glossed over this one at first just because it's a sedan, it's not a coupe, but at the very least we figured that we should go look at the car. So this was the first car that I actually looked at. I went to look at a coupe the same day, and it was an AMG line C300 coupe. It was a 2019 as well. I didn't want to do anything older than 2018. If you guys know or don't know, my old car was a 2010 C300 sedan. I loved her. She was probably like one of the most reliable cars ever. It was my first car, but she was very reliable. She lasted almost 200,000 miles before I unfortunately got into a small accident. So I will insert a couple pictures for you to see. It really wasn't anything too crazy. I am totally okay. The other driver was completely fine. And if I really wanted to, I could have gotten my old car fixed and repaired, but it was just kind of like, you know, I knew the time was coming, and I just kind of wanted something newer, obviously, a little bit nicer, more up to date, had more tech, more features. I wanted to kind of keep looking at other cars just in case a coupe came to be that, you know, was kind of more within my criteria and my guidelines that I had. Like I said, it was really just hard to find, and I was actually gonna go take a look at another coupe at Keys Van Nuys that they had. It was a white C300 AMG line, just like I wanted, 21,000 miles. You know, kind of just like talking to my mom made me realize like this is a really good deal on this car. It's practically brand new, so I really get to break it in. I just kind of felt like it would be a little goofy to pass up such a good opportunity. And there really wasn't that much to film. You know, we see the car, we go and test drive it. But I didn't film the test drive because I didn't want to be distracted or anything. When we were about to leave to go see the coupe at a really shady, sketchy independent dealer in Bellflower, I had left my phone in the car on accident. I was sitting in the driver's seat. So I go back and the salesman opens the car for me, and my phone was just sitting right here on the driver's seat, and we were both kind of like, like, it's kind of just meant to be at that point. Going back to the car accident I had, this was about almost 2 months ago now. This happened before I left for Antigua, literally 2 days before I left for my trip, and I was on my way to my hair appointment at about 11 in the morning. And I did not get a lot of sleep that night, unfortunately. I'm the kind of person who, like, I can run on 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep if I really have to. Obviously, I don't prefer it, but it's something I can do if I really need to. I have, like, chronic insomnia, so it's really hard for me to get to sleep some nights, and that just happened to be one of them. I wasn't on my phone or anything. I wasn't distracted. I just honestly kind of wasn't really fully there and aware and attentive as I, should or could have been. I was going through an intersection basically, and I was trying to merge into the lane to my right, and I knew there was a car to my right. I switched lanes to avoid my car, blocking the intersection essentially and being responsible for the overflow of traffic at the light. I tried to switch into the right lane, and I ended up kind of obviously bump a car, and his car was practically like perfectly fine, but my car definitely took the the brunt of the damage, and my front right passenger wheel kind of was stuck inward, right? I was able to still drive the car and pull over to the side of the road. The car was like, kind of done for, and embarrassingly, but also luckily enough, it was somebody I used to go to school with. He was actually really nice about it and totally cool, and made sure that I was okay before anything. So shout out to him. He was super nice, a total sweetheart, and I still feel really awful about it. So God forbid if he's watching this, I am so sorry once again, and thank you for being so nice to me. Yeah, so embarrassingly, but also luckily, that situation really worked out for the best. My mom came and picked me up, and we both had a hair appointment that day, so we just went and got our hair done, and then after that I got my nails done, and the tow truck came and picked up the car, and that was pretty much it. While I was on the trip, they had officially written it off as a total loss, and like I said, they were able to repair the car had that been the route I wanted to take. But like I said, I knew that car was getting old, and I was starting to have a lot of minor maintenance issues with it, but it was starting to get to the point that the repairs cost more than the car was worth. It was time for the baby Benz to go. I could not be happier with this new car. So let me show you guys around. Let me give you a little tour of Stella. Her name is Stella, and I think it's so cute. And Stella is actually in honor of my friend Donovan. His first car, I believe, was a silver Mustang that he named Stella. Yeah, I ended up naming her Stella in honor of Donovan. But anyway, let's walk around and let me give you a tour of my new baby. Hello, this is me in the future editing, and I didn't record any of these clips with me talking about the car. I kind of just wanted to do it voiceover style, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. Obviously, I am no Doug DeMuro or Forrest Auto Reviews, shout out, but I did want to go over some of the quirks and features and talk about the car a little bit. In no particular order, we're going to talk about it, but this is a 2019 C300 Mercedes with the premium package. The only features really worth mentioning here are the keyless go and electronic trunk closer. The car is equipped with 18-inch multi-spoke wheels with black accents and Continental all-season tires. The wood trim that we see on the doors and the center console is the natural grain gray oak wood trim, which is pretty standard in most newer C-Class models. Some of the other features you'll notice are the LED logo projectors on the front doors, auto-dimming and power folding mirrors, paddle shifters, although it is a 9-speed automatic, 10-inch center display, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, heated 4-way control front seats with memory options, the analog center dash clock, wireless charging and blind spot assist, the comfort box for extra trunk storage, and of course the drive mode select, which comes with Comfort, Eco, Sport, Sport Plus, and Individual. In terms of the engine, which we'll see a little bit later, this is a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, making it 255 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. Looking at the dimensions of the 2019 C300 compared to my old 2010 C300, it definitely feels a little longer and wider, so I am still adjusting to parking and driving it. So I will say, if you see me somewhere in public and I look like I'm struggling to park my car, I probably am, so mind your business. Aside from that, the only real gripe I have with this car is I prefer the way the back of the C300 Coupe looks compared to the sedan, but obviously it's not a deal breaker for me. Hi, so I'm popping in again. Here we are at the Range Rover dealership in Pasadena. Like I said, I really didn't get to film as much as I would have liked to that day. So I briefly mentioned how I went to go look at a coupe the same day after I looked at this car. Needless to say, that car didn't even make it into this video. Upon getting to that dealership, I noticed immediately that there were dings all over the car and it just felt so lived in for having 27,000 miles on it. It smelled kind of weird, kind of like somebody maybe used to smoke in that car. 2 red lights into the test drive, the check engine light came on and the engine started rattling and shaking. My mom and I could not leave that dealership fast enough, so I immediately texted my salesperson at Range Rover that we were coming back, and it was just honestly a no-brainer. Although it's not the coupe I initially wanted in the beginning of my search, 3,200 miles is pretty unbeatable. We came back. We came back. That's the one. So while we waited to sign the paperwork, we walked around the lot and we looked at a couple cars, and my mom ended up test driving a Range Rover Sport. She ended up not walking away with it that day, but I know that she intends to in the future. Honestly, if my mom leaves Team Mercedes, I'm gonna be pretty sad about it. So mom, if you're watching this, I think you should buy a GLE 63. Wow, that was fire. And finally, she was all mine. I had a picture very similar to this on my vision board this year, and I was so happy, and it was so surreal to see it come to life. With that being said, I leave you with this. Your only competition is your potential.